play of the game from way down.
1, 2, silence. Rainer getting absolutely
A team wipe.
The living bomb's going.
Oh my goodness, the ring. Bob Stasnico gonna find Rainer.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Nexus Gaming series. I'm your host tonight, Arrow. We're going to be watching some Sea West action, the late night crew. A bit of NGS After Dark. And I'm trying to be quiet, and of course, some people have to be loud at 11:30 at night. Why don't you relax over here? Chill out a little bit. We don't yet have our map bans, but they should be coming in here soon as Team Rainbow Strike Go. Team Rainbow Strike Go and Clouded Mines gonna be finishing those up here any moment now. Hey, why don't you relax, huh? Yeah, I'm talking to you. Quit talking to him. Talk to me. Yeah, sit right here. That's cool. That works. But we're gonna see these teams go head-to-head in their Season 1 matchup. Week 1, Season 8 matchup. Now, Team Rainbow Strike Go, a Division C veteran team. And Clouded Mines making their way up to Division C after winning the Division D Grand Championship last season. So, should be an entertaining matchup tonight. And it looks like we've got our ban, so let's go ahead and update these details, and then we'll show them off to you guys as well. Let's see. And Spider. Let's see. So Clouded Mines is on the right. And first pick. Okay, so that means that they get the map pick, and the map pick is okay. Excellent. So we got all our details. Let's show them to you at home. As soon as I found the right page. There we go. Maps. Maps are important. All right, so we've got bans coming out on Cursed Hollow and Dragonshire from the Clouded Mines. And for Team Rainbow Strike Go, banning out Tomb of the Spider Queen and Alterac Pass. Our first game tonight is going to be played on Towers of Doom. You'll love to see it. Let's go ahead and add that ticker back in. I did a replay cast earlier, and you don't want to have the ticker going on the replay cast when, it might show the game that you're casting. So turn that off there. Let me turn it back on elsewhere too. It shows there, that's good. And let's turn it on here. How's everybody doing tonight? It's late in the evening, 11:45 almost. A couple of other NGS series are wrapping up. I know that Arthanau was just finishing one up there, and Murda playing one as well. Oh, we got Whispers. Can I create the game? Looks like I am making the game. Towers of Doom. Let's make it happen. All right. They are on that side, so let's invite them first. Move me down to there. Get this going. This was theirs, and I think that was that. So, okay. Once these guys are in here, then we'll get everybody swapped around. Oh, they're all here. What am I talking about? So, Captain. All right, let's go ahead and get our Clouded Mines folks into this game. There is the Weenus, the one and only. Hey, everybody coming over from Artha Now's stream. Welcome. We are going to have a good game tonight, I think, between Team Rainbow Strike Go and Clouded Minds. How did your series go? I only got to see parts of it, so I didn't get to see the full thing. I heard some of the comments. But how'd it go, everybody? How was the cast? Did you enjoy the experience of having the Triple Cats casting for you? And the answer better be yes. If it's not yes, don't answer that, because some of those cats are here and I don't feel like dealing with that problem. Looks like we've got just about everybody here who wants Captain Hat. Let's find out. You know what? Just cause, why don't we see what standings look like over there in C West? What do we got? Clouded Mines and Rainbow Strike Go. So obviously they're both sitting at 0, but there might be some teams with points. What do we got? Clouded Mines 0, Team Rainbow Strike Go 0. But that Tasta with 3, Arrogant Nephilim with 4, and Piecemeal with 5. How do they have so many points in week 1, you might ask? It's because they played flex matches. Who else do we got? Can you make Silver Captain for banning? Set Captain. Oh my goodness, Weenus. I'm sitting on a bucket due to bad shrimp, says Weenus. You know what? Some days, right? They have first pick, so that should be correct, right? Team first. Okay, so we've got to explain to them about the bug, as somebody is placed and some people are not. Thank you, Weenus, for the 69 bits. Much appreciated. Sounds like one team's already out of the party, so looks like the other team may need to address that here real quick. People on top of their flex matches. Absolutely, Lulu. It seems like a fair number of teams are actually getting those scheduled early, at least from what I've heard. You know, we've seen a couple in Division C. I know that we've got our first flex match next Tuesday. A couple of other teams scheduled next week. So yeah, absolutely. It's a good time to be in NGS getting those flex matches done. And you know what? You get those points, you go to the top of the list, and I mean, you can ride that wave all the way to the finals. There we go. Let's get Silverback that Captain Hat. All right, we're ready. Tiger's ready. Robert is ready. Looks like we got ourselves a game, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I should see if I can set myself as a referee. Nope, too late. I already hit the start button. Too late. I can't talk now. Doesn't matter. They don't need to hear my opinions anyway. Here we go. On to the draft. Towers of Doom. I don't have my notepad. Yes, I do. First pick going over to the side of Clouded Minds. Now, at some point tonight... Well, maybe not. Maybe not. I was going to say at some point tonight, we might actually see ourselves an Asmodan. I've seen it out of Weenus a couple of times, and it's been surprising a couple of times. It could happen on this very map, in fact. Would not surprise me. But we're going to start off with an Ana ban. Let's see. So CM on this side, RSG over here. And Johanna going to be the first ban here for the Rainbow Strike Go crew. Johanna pairs well with the Azmodan, so aside from being just a solid tank, it also helps to negate the potential for that combination. And we're going to be the follow-up ban, so Ana Anduin with the Johanna. And now the Kerrigan. Not a frequent ban by any means. So that is almost certainly a target ban. So we'll see what we get. First pick. A lot of tanks have been picked up recently in the first slot there, but it's instead going to be the healer coming in with the Stukov. And in response here, so Stukov's going to give him that zoning silence, which is really annoying. It's just absolutely the worst. We're going to see Greymane and Varian, so that is some really serious blow-up potential here. Right out of the gate. Varian hitting that taunt, Greymane going with that cursed bullet, and suddenly you don't have anybody. Like, they're gone. That player's gone. But in response, we're going to see an Arthas. Arthas is a good answer to the potential for having that Greymane. And Li Ming. So, Li Ming going to get value out of those roots from Arthas. Most definitely. Got to figure out who is here. So, Star Knight, Swing... and Zednam so far. Yes, and Tiger. There we go. So it's going to be Phoenix, the third and final ban here for the Rainbow Strike Go. And you know what? That's a good ban. I've definitely seen the Clouded Minds crew playing the Phoenix. And it pairs well with the Arthas too. Those slows and a root really providing value into even something like a Planet Cracker if they wanted to. So there's no Johanna to slow down that Varian Greymane potential blow up here. So this is where I think they really flesh out that blow up. So are they going to be looking for something like, I mean, they could almost even do a Genji, but they're going to go with the Jaina as their really big burst damage here. So just the healer left over. Who else do we have? Silver on the Jaina. And Killer Fry on the Blaze. Okay, there we go. Last couple of picks here. So we're looking for a solo laner and an additional damage. So some kind of, I was going to say Rainer is the most likely. Mal'Ganis here. Going to be the final pick. So either Arthas or Mal'Ganis could end up being the solo laner. Both of those do perform pretty decently in the solo lane. So you could see either of those. Last pick here, the healer, gonna be Ariel, so there you go. That's an interesting pick. So she's gonna be able to knock Mal'Ganis away, knock that Arthas away, so that's a good value healer. Decent amount of frontline, so she could consider the Searing Light as an option. Has the Crystal Aegis to save the Greymane. So a lot of potential there. But on the opposite side, you got a Stukov, and Stukov does a really good job of saying no, right? I mean, whether it's a massive shove or a flailing swipe, either one of those ultimates could really just shut down the entire push that they're going for. So somehow this got screwed up. Let's see. Star Knight there, Swing on Li Ming, and Tiger on Mal'Ganis. There we go. All right, here we go. Game number one between Team Rainbow Strike Go and Clouded Mines. On the left, it's Rainbow Strike Go. We got Howlin' Knight on Ariel. Silver going to be playing the Jaina. Kingleberry on Greymane. Killer Fry on Blaze. And finally, Varian going to be played by Robert. On the right, Clouded Mines riding a variety of different mounts. Not their generally patented clouded, green clouded haze. We've got Star Knight on the Stukov, Tiger on Mal'Ganis, Zednam on Arthas. Swing's going to be playing Li Ming, and Venus on the Rainer. So right out of the gate, yay, we don't get a forfeit. Mal'Ganis does not take Winged Guard, so that's good for us. It is going to be the parry talent for Varian, so giving him the additional damage when he parries an auto attack. That's helpful for that Rainer, so getting that additional heroic start damage. And that stim pack here for Blaze, so gonna give him the additional mana and reduced cooldowns. I guess faster cooldown recharge for that level 1 talent there. Howling Blast quest, Frost Presence for the Arthas. Not a big surprise, wants to be able to lock down heroes, and once he completes that, is able to do it a little bit easier and a little bit more. Right? Able to get heroes based on the line instead of just the end point. But at the 1 minute mark here, we've got Greymane already on this siege camp, and Silver's gonna join there on the Jaina. On the opposite side, we've got Li Ming and Stukov doing the same. So both teams here making their way and getting to work. A little bit more time here for Clouded Mines to get theirs done, as their heroes just aren't quite as optimized for that. Varian holding onto that bush, but again, he's not level 4 yet, so he doesn't even have a whole lot of health. Uses the parry, but that's going to be first blood. Now let's take a look here. How is our minion XP? So far, slightly in favor of the Rainbow Strike Go, but I mean, that could just be, you know, not having soaked a minion or two, as we see 38-10 to 38-14, so very close. Paying attention to those XP globes, as has become very important with the changes to those XP globes. And the Sappers up in the top lane here, able to pick that up, and not most of the time these don't really make it too far, but Tiger's having to pull back a little bit here against this Blaze. So these Sappers actually are going to make it all the way through. They do take out the wall, but since there was no damage on the wall and the way that they were positioned, they just took it out, and that was it. Venus getting the taunt there, uses the penetrating round at 15 health, does fall at the wall, but it's instead going to be Varian and Greymane, the follow-up kills, make it the triple kill as the long-range arcane orb finishing the job. Quite the payoff for Clouded Mines, getting 3 kills and only having to sacrifice a single Venus. Now, there's a statement you didn't think you'd hear today. And it looks like Clouded Mine's gonna send up 4 out of their 5 up into the top lane here to try to pressure into the top left altar, as Li Ming gathering the bottom solo here. And Ariel split out a little bit, but didn't really matter. She was able to get in. Oh, and that was a great root. Oh no, it was Fellclaws. It had to be Fellclaws, because it looked like they all got knocked up into that. Great Fellclaws interrupting the jet propulsion, because if not for that, that was definitely going to be a multi-stun out of the Blaze and could have potentially even led to some kills there. So really good timing to make sure that that protected the team. And in the mid lane here, Stukov getting some silence value onto Robert. Robert's going to have to pull back, has about half of his health left. That Varian, but that's a tap. So 2 minutes before Varian will be able to do that again. And it looks like they're going in after the Arthas, and the king of the frozen north gonna go down there, getting locked down in that blizzard and taken out. So that's a 2 kills to 4 so far on the scoreboard. And both teams once again working on their siege camps, gonna get them out here in the bot lane. And they both have the potential to clear these relatively easily. Right now, you know, Greymane's really pushing forward here, pulling back the Rainer, but he just popped out of organ form, so he can't really dive back in to go in for that kill. And with the assistance of a Li Ming and Stukov, and of course Arthas up in the bush here as well, it's all for the best that Greymane pulls back with the Varian there to tap and get set up for this next altar phase. Now, so far in the bottom lane here, we do see Team Rainbow Strike Go has their full wall down, including the towers. So this is a little bit more dangerous of a position for them than it is for Clouded Mines. Not too much, just a little bit. Li Ming going full orb build, looking for those big hits, get those cooldown resets as well. And the Mal'Ganis and Blaze on their way down here as the channel started by Jaina, the interrupt there from Stukov with that weighted pustule. Oh, but look at Robert here getting stunned, put to sleep, and then silenced. That's going to be the first kill onto Varian. Looking for more is Mal'Ganis, the big orb hitting onto Kingleberry. And that's going to be the channel coming out from Star Knight, giving them an additional 4 points. The score now 36-28. And Blaze and Mal'Ganis heading back into lanes, gathering that XP. And, you know, neither one of these heroes are super great at the double soak, so, you know, they're going to probably be pretty equal in what they're trying to do. Unless, of course, there's a quick gank attempt. The jet propulsion did hit onto the Mal'Ganis, and that's probably what saved Blaze. But level 10 now available here for Clouded Mines, just slightly ahead of Team Rainbow Strike Go. We've got the Hyperion. We saw that big flailing swipe there a moment ago. Army of the Dead for the Arthas. Disintegrate here for Li Ming, and Carrion Swarm for the Mal'Ganis. There's a big taunt once again onto Raynor, and that's what I was talking about in draft. A taunt, a cursed bullet, and that's the end of Raynor once again. But what other ults do we have out of this team? We've got the Crystal Aegis, we've got the Combustion, and the Water Elemental. So a lot of potential for the slows and lockdown, but also some defensive with the Crystal Aegis, as Mal'Ganis putting 3 to sleep gets taunted by the Varian here. And this is ultimately an even fight, I think, right? 4 versus 4. Raynor not here and Blaze not here. Ariel trying to keep alive as Mal'Ganis just sitting on the backline there. But jet propulsion in onto the Stukov. It's going to be Jaina, however, falling first. Combustion is used, but I don't think it's going to be quite in range of anybody. And Varian falling low is going to die to the Death Coil. The absolute last remnant of Zednam's mana used to take Varian out. And that's 4 more points here for the Clouded Mines team. Looking strong so far, 36-24. They pick up that siege camp and getting to work bringing this down into the bot lane. A nice penetrating round to throw Greymane back away, keeping that Raynor safe. Weenus not enjoying that whole taunt curse bullet combo and says, "Get out of my face, Wolfman." Oh, Jaina gonna fall to the silence here from the Stukov, but Stukov paying the price for it, getting the taunt and the combo from Greymane there. Blaze the next to fall, and Tiger going in trying to see if they can't get some more lockdown, but ultimately not able to succeed there. But Kingleberry is going to fall there. Once again, some additional damage between the Death Coil and the Raynor shot there. But the counter kill onto Mal'Ganis. So this is a 3 for 2 here. Just the Oriel and Varian to defend this keep. But with no healer and a fairly low health and definitely low mana Arthas, we're going to see Clouded Mines pull back. And in fact, head off to their base, collect some health, collect some mana. Arthas making use of that healing well instead of, you know, full backing and getting filled up. And this, an interesting moment is Arthas holding the bush, but all by himself essentially is swing on the other side of that wall, and that was great play on the side of Team Rainbow Strike Go. Making the, you know, being aware quickly of the reaction there that Arthas was in that bush, giving the Varian the opportunity to lock down that hero and secure that kill. And this is a little questionable. I think that Clouded Minds probably should have stepped away here, but we'll see. As Raynor does fall, Blaze is on the Li Ming in the back here. Make it now Blaze versus Stukov. And Tiger trying to put people to sleep. But it's not looking super great here as they have to pull back. The taunt going out onto Stukov and Stukov falling as well. So ultimately the decision there to go in with that 4v5 costing the Clouded Minds one altar for sure, certainly 2 heroes. And we'll see about this second altar. They're coming back into this with just the Arthas and Mal'Ganis. So Arthas popping the army, trying to have that significant self-sustain last long enough to keep them in this fight. Now the Li Ming coming in with that Disintegrate, really bringing Robert down. And Arthas, or I'm sorry, Varian's gonna fall there to the Raynor. That penetrating round finishing the job. Jet Propulsion coming in onto the Mal'Ganis, and Kingleberry diving in, getting that kill. And the blizzard damage going nuts. The elemental gonna take out Venus, and Zednam going to fall next as well. The return kill onto the Gray Man, and how on earth did that jet propulsion hit Li Ming? It seems like anytime I jet propulsion that far, it misses by a mile, even though it's about a couple of pixels. It looks like Howling Knight having to pause there. Oh, a big combustion. Gonna get the kill onto that Li Ming. So these 4 points getting kills on both sides of the map. But ultimately both altars going over to the side of Team Rainbow Strike Go. And that's gonna give us a 28-24 currently in this out of 40 points on the core game. So evening up quite a bit. Level 13s came on earlier here, so showcasing those for you here. Take a little bit of a look-see. We do have the glass cannon for Li Ming, and I think that probably contributed to that quick death from the combustion. Tiger putting Varian to sleep, but Mal'Ganis didn't have anything else really to lock him down here. There's the Carrion Swarm, so gonna get it on 3. We do have all of the Clouded Minds here, and that's gonna be a kill onto the Jaina, as Jaina just completing her Fingers of Frost quest there, and Varian falling as well. So that's gonna give them a bottom fort, and keep in mind there's also still a siege camp here, so that's 3 potential additional points that Blaze and Oriel are going to try to defend against, but I don't know that they can, especially with a Flailing Swipe pushing them back. Start not even taking a little bit of damage from the death zone there, just to help make sure that those get in. Triple altar phase on lock here. 2 in the top, 1 in the mid, and the keep's already down here. Oh, and look at this. If that was a Varian instead of a Blaze, that's a dead Mal'Ganis. I think they missed an opportunity there. I think that if Blaze had gone with that jet propulsion, but here comes the taunt onto Venus Zednam, the one that's falling, however, quickly, and Blaze having to pull back as also very low. The Ariel healing him up, but unfortunately now Varian gonna be taken out, as well as the Jaina, and the resets popping off, getting that Blaze as well. Carrion Swarm being used by the Mal'Ganis, trying to get in there, but not quite able to do so. Kingleberry, only 75 health there, getting away just barely. And that is truly unfortunate, as now Clouded Minds making their way around to all 3 altars. And that will leave just 6 points on the core for Team Rainbow Strike Go. And we're going to see at least Stukov heading up to this boss. So this boss doesn't win the game, but it certainly puts them within range of winning the game. And with both heroes that are on the map currently down in the bot lane, this is a nice, easy, quick kill for Clouded Minds. But this is a threat. They've got to take this bottom fort down, because there is a siege camp up in this bot lane. In fact, there are 2 siege camps up in this bot lane. And those making it through finish the game. That being said, there's also a siege camp in the top lane. Clouded Mind knows it. So they're going to work on getting this tower down. And then most likely they head back, grab the siege camp and then find some value someplace. So they're looking at this siege camp, and this could either be the game if Clouded Minds can find a way to push these siege minions through, or just a pause button. The beginning for Team Rainbow Strike Go. Oh my god, in a Mal'Ganis! And that's what I was talking about in that last fight. If that was a variant, that Mal'Ganis was toast, and this time, slap some butter on him because he's done. And now, sitting with 4 towers. Never mind. I was going to say 3 towers. They can at best get 3 points here. But with that equalizing out, that's going to be 4 here. Potentially, assuming it looks like that Clouded Minds is going to go ahead and give them this up. They don't have to fight for these. They can give up the 8 points and still be in a pretty handy situation. So the death of Mal'Ganis there really put them a little bit back, and certainly not in a great position to try to fight this. So that's going to give both teams the opportunity to get their individual keeps back.
Like all the others. Our tower has
Where do we go next? Clouded Minds kind of trying to figure that out. Where can they get XP to catch up? They're only a little bit behind, but certainly enough for a single team fight. And there's Varian checking that bush after the earlier catch there from Arthas. Did not work out so well for the Varian that time. Both teams looking for their 20s, and it looks like Rainbow Strike Go is going to be hitting that one first. Any moment now. What do we got? 30 seconds on top, 10 and 20 seconds in the bot lane. So once again, Team Rainbow Strike Go has to find a way to really push this hard. That 15-point triple altar phase really put them behind. But they're not out of it. They got 2 points on their core. As long as they can keep that going, they're good. And this is a great engage for them, getting that taunt onto the Arthas and blowing him up. They don't get the keep, but they don't necessarily need to. And once again, Clouded Minds now has to make a decision. Do they want to fight this down a player, or do they want to give up the 4 points and try to find value elsewhere? And that's what they're doing right now. They're finding value in these siege camps, and that's what they need to do. They should not find themselves in the altar at this point. There's no reason for them to fight. Yes, they lose the 4 points. That puts them closer to a 0. But they've got time. They have the ability to create pressure elsewhere on the map. Once again, they're going to head up to the top lane and start working on that. But it looks like Team Rainbow Strike Go, very much cognizant of this, is going to start their rotation up there for the same effect here. But check out some of these ultimates. So we've got the Anti-Magic Shell for the Arthas. That'll definitely help if he can get that off before the Cursed Bullet comes in. Obviously would work with Jaina's Blizzard and all that stuff as well. Also helps with that Disintegrate. Disintegrate's on the other team. But the upgraded Disintegrate gives an additional slow. And the Carrion Swarm now, Carrion Swarm's going to be a big swing if they can get... basically, if they can get the right engage, get most or all of the team put to sleep, and then you've got Li Ming orbs from far away, and that's a big death. And here comes that root. Varian gonna get the taunt. Blizzard going nuts. Not quite getting that anti-magic shell. The flailing swipe upgrade coming out, pushing the team back, and a lot of damage going out here. But the something of hopes, shield of hope coming out to help mitigate some of that. Tiger in a bit of danger here, does pop that Carrion Swarm. Now watch this as the entire team gets put to sleep. Maybe not, only the Jaina, but that's going to be enough as Varian is taken out by Raynor, and Jaina, the follow-up, now Blaze, and this could be a 5-man mega kill, team wipe. And what looked like the beginning of a terrible fight for Clouded Minds as Arthas getting just absolutely obliterated. turned around and leads to the end of this game in favor of Cloud of Mine 16-0. Arthas not found. No doubt. No doubt. That's about right. All right, 16 kills to 22. And again, you know what? These teams, for the most part, I mean, they played pretty balanced. It wasn't, you know, the only difference I think is that 15 point. It was just the effectively one team fight that was lost, and it was lost at the wrong time and led to a significant drop in points. If not for that, I think that we'd still be going. Even if that was just the one additional altar, if they could have picked up one additional altar from that, then I feel like the way that the teams played, what they put their structures into and everything, this game probably goes on for another 5-10 minutes. But Cloud and Mines with the victory, starting their best of 3 series with 1 point so far. Now that's going to be up to Team Rainbow Strike Go to determine what they want. Do they want first pick? Do they want the map pick? We'll have to wait and see in just a moment. So once again, thanks for joining us, everybody. Appreciate you staying up late to watch these C-West teams, or maybe not so late. Maybe some of you guys are on the West Coast, keeping an eye on your competition, looking for that edge that Turd Herder's always talking about. And if you're looking for an update, if you happen to be a C East team, it looks like Regen Anomaly just defeated Deep Fried Ragaros in their flex match. So that is puts Regen Anomaly at 6 points for the season so far. Two dominations, so congratulations to them. And let me, you know what, I'll check in with this team. I'm assuming that people are talking to each other, but you never know. Make sure that we're all on the same page. You're from Australia. Well, you know what? Fair enough. Fair enough. If it's tomorrow for you, it is tomorrow for you. No, actually, it might not be tomorrow for you because it just flipped times for me. So yeah, you're probably just late today. Probably about 6 p.m. or so. But either way, thanks for signing in and watching the show, Mr. Shads. Shout out to Turd Herder, the host of Nexus Edge. Silver Jackal. And Special Kid Miles. Some names I'm pretty sure I've seen Silver Jackal. I don't think I've seen Special Kid Miles before. So welcome to the stream. Make sure you hit follow so you get spammed with all of the many casts that I do throughout the season here. Let's see, is this them? Just a moment here, we'll check in and see what's going on. $1 p.m. All right, fair enough. Tiger, they want BOE, it says. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this going. We want the custom games. I went to watch, that's not the right way. Battlefield of Eternity is, you know, they should just make these alphabetical. Oh, did you? Okay, well, fair enough. You know, I'm an old man. I'm so old, my memory, it's just not what it used to be. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. Battlefield of Eternity. So let's, you know what? Let's take a look, see what we've got for our maps, shall we? All right, bans coming out. We had from Clouded Mines, we banned out Cursed Hollow and Dragonshire. For Team Rainbow Strike Go, the bans were on Alterac Pass and Tomb of the Spider Queen. Both of these maps so far have been picked by Team Rainbow Strike Go. The first map was Towers of Doom. Clouded Mines won that one. Battlefield of Eternity going to be the second map, and this is a very different style of map from what we just saw. This is oftentimes a very early map where you want those early game heroes. Set captain. All right, and let's get Tiger. Nope. Damn it. There we go. NA production value. Yay. Roughly when... Wait, I'm trying to get back into the game. Last time I played was before 2.0 and all the Overwatch characters. Oh my goodness, that was a long time ago. Roughly when Li Ming was added to the game. Holy cow, when you had the S of Johan, I think, with the orbs where you could pull everybody in. Oh, that was a glorious time. And welcome everybody from Murda's stream. Thank you, Murda, for the raid. Appreciate it. I just shouted out that Anomaly had won their game, so... Glad that everybody's coming over here to check out what's going on between Team Rainbow Strike Go and Clouded Mines. Clouded Mines currently sitting up 1-0, which of course you can see right there at, well, not right there, but a little bit farther over there in the score on the side of the screen. 22-0 game on this map. In kills, 22 kills and 0 deaths. Let's see it. One, two, three, four so far. Just missing one player from the Clouded Mines. Oh, I should probably update my list. All right, so let's see. Arthas. Stukov. And Mal'Ganis. So certainly some potential for some of the same heroes that we saw in the last game to make an appearance. Probably some of the same bans as well. And you know, after seeing the full draft, I don't dislike that first ban on the Ana. I mean, Arthas and Mal'Ganis both are heroes that want to be able to heal themselves. Oh, 22-0 on the total kills. Gotcha. All right, make sure that they're here. I'm eating my Rice Krispies, they say. Of course they are. Why not? Snap, crackle, pop. And it looks like all of our heroes are the same. Oh, Rice Krispies. All right, looks like we're all ready to go. Starting up the game. And once again, I didn't make myself a ref, so I can't communicate to them. But that's okay, they don't need me to talk to them. Let's get into this draft. Battlefield of Eternity. And everything is on the line for Team Rainbow Strike Go. This is their map pick. And they're looking for the opportunity to come back into this, get a point, possibly get a second point. Every win matters, especially as you get toward the end of the season. Very important. Dominations matter, wins, and even just getting a single win against a team that beat you can make all the difference in the world. And there's the Greymane. I figured that would be a quick change on the bans here. And there's the Kerrigan as well. So remaining the same on the side of Rainbow Strike Go. Clouded Mines changing the Anduin for the Greymane, though. So we may yet see the Anduin. Anduin does get a lot of value on a map like this. If for no other reason than, you know, having the opportunity to leap of faith somebody over a wall is huge protection for them. Our first pick is going to be the Li Ming. So continuing on with that devastating hero. And an instant lock on the Vala. Didn't even want to give the team the opportunity to change their mind about that call. Oh, I forgot the poll again. Guys, I'm so terrible about remembering these polls. Let me go into that. And a Thrall. So most likely Thrall's going to be in the off lane. There we go. We'll set that to 3 minutes this time. And I'll try to remember that it's going to take place. So, all right, Stukov and Mal'Ganis. So sticking with the tried and true, put them to sleep, blow them up, and silence them to make sure that they can't actually do anything for that period of time. So Vala and Thrall here. So Vala is super squishy, and Mal'Ganis can still has that movement speed to get far enough forward to catch up to the Vala, even with a vault. So gonna have to be a little bit careful there, find a way to counter that. They're gonna kill off the Rainer, so no Rainer gonna happen in this game. And the third and final ban here, so we've got a healer still. Without knowing their full roster, I mean, Tyrande is always good, especially when you've got the Vala Thrall here. But they're going to go ahead and ban the end. They're going to ban to win now. And I like the ban on the Rainer as well. I don't know if I mentioned that, but, you know, Rainer does have a lot of race potential here. And ultimately, you know, getting the Exterminator at level 1 does provide a lot of race potential as well, and with that Li Ming, could be really brutal. They're gonna stick back with the Varian Ariel though. Now they don't have quite that same blow-up potential without the Cursed Bullets, so if Thrall's in the off lane, Kingleberry was the Grey main last round, so who are they gonna look at with this? Maybe something like a Genji? Genji can still do pretty decent damage onto the Immortal and provides them a quick burst, also the Dragon Blade, but a Mal'Ganis sleep would be a big problem. And we're going to see the Cassia and Arthas round out, so very similar draft. The only real difference is the Cassia there. So working on the theory of if it ain't broke, don't fix it, are the Clouded Mines. So what are we going to get out of this potential blow-up comp for Rainbow Strike Go? It's going to be Kael'thas. Okay, so not quite as quick of a blow-up potential, but there are 3.5 melee on the side of Clouded Mine, so there is a potential for that to really just those living bombs to get spread everywhere. And the hallways here are fairly narrow, so real easy for that to happen. So we'll see. I mean, Stukov can heal it up pretty decently, but the Bio Kill Switch is a longer cooldown than Living Bomb. And of course, you can actually have multiple Living Bombs going out at the same time, so there you go. Game number 2 getting set up here on Battlefield of Eternity between Team Rainbow Strike Go and Clouded Mines. Let's go ahead and start this poll. Who do you think's going to win game number 2? Check at the top of your screen there on the top of chat to vote for your who you think's going to win. Not necessarily your favorite team, just who you think's going to win. All right, on the left, we've got Rainbow Strike Go. Robert's going to be playing the Varian, Killer Fry on the Thrall. Vala going to be played by Silver, Kingleberry on the Kael'thas, and Howlin' Knight on the Ariel. Over to the right, it's Clouded Mines. Tiger is sitting on that Mal'Ganis, going to go top lane for the solo lane. Star Knight on the Stukov, Weenus on Cassia, Zednim on Arthas, and Swing on the Li Ming. And I love that that just kind of rhymes. It's so close. So close. We're getting champagne bottles up in here, or flutes, champagne flutes, not bottles. And Zedam is going to land that root onto the Vala. She vaults away just in time to avoid that death. But that was looking pretty close to a final destination moment where you just get a little too far forward and suddenly Arthas. But while that fight is somewhat on pause, let's take a look at these towns. And so far, I believe the only difference is Stukov's level 1. I don't recall if he took low blow last time or not, but possibly, maybe, I don't know. Obviously, we've got a little bit of a difference here in the builds for the other team because they're not all the same. We're going into this Lion's Maw, and I think that that makes a lot of sense with the team as they don't have the Rainer. Cassie doesn't quite do as much in that auto attack range, you know, as fast at least, and oftentimes is looking for more poke, especially going into that javelin talent for the Thunderstroke. Ariel taking the swift sweep, so getting that faster sweep. And Echo of Elements for Thrall, of course, and Mana Addict. So, and of course, the most important talent in this group here is Monster Hunter, making sure that Vala has that superior race. And I think overall that, you know, Team Rainbow Strike Go has the faster race. Although Li Ming certainly has the potential to provide some quick burst. There's just more damage, more people playing damage for one. But that Vala value as she gets that level 7 talent is going to bring a lot to the team. Shive saying that Team Rainbow Strike Go is going to the finals so that they can play against him. Well, there you go. Fair enough. Clouded Minds here getting onto their Shaman camp a little bit ahead of the announcement from the Immortals. So we'll see where they go with this. Are they going to... They're going to come down into the bot lane. Maybe? Maybe they're not. Cassie is heading up to hang out by the Immortal. And now the Shaman camp is going to be worked on the side of Rainbow Strike Go. And with that quick Shaman pickup, we're now going to see the Siege camp in the bot lane. So I'm not actually sure which of these camps defeats the other. And it looks like 50-50 on chat for Rainbow Strike Go and Clouded Minds. So there you go. There you have it. 50-50. Perfectly balanced, as all things should be. But we got to fight over the blue Immortal here, as Tiger getting a living bomb and having to pull back just a little bit. Thrall still in the lane. So right now, at least, this is slightly in favor of Clouded Minds. Vala already starting on the Immortal here. And Tiger heading up to try to slow down that damage. But it's going to be first blood here, going over to Team Rainbow Strike Go. Possibly a second as the Gravity Lapse coming in. Kael'thas taking out 2 members of Clouded Minds and make it a third as Tiger getting caught and deleted. And with that extra damage here, we're going to see Team Rainbow Strike Go head up onto their Immortal and just very slightly ahead here by about 1800. But everybody's back on the map and there's still a camp in the bot lane going for Clouded Minds. Already though, take a look at this Immortal. It's about 10% health, so this Immortal is going to go over to the side of Rainbow Strike Go, but Clouded Minds saying that's fine, we'll take some kills. They get the Thrall kill, they might get the Variant kill, and they do. And Tiger deep in, looking for the Kael'thas kill, the dodge. Kingleberry just able to avoid getting hit by that Arcane Orb, and that's going to give now the opportunity to push a little bit in the bot lane here for Tiger. But most importantly, it's going to allow Clouded Minds to get onto this Immortal and clear it out fairly quickly. So they don't lose a fort here. Presumably. Oh, really? You just happen to know some of these people, huh? Well, glad you were able to connect with some of the people here. So this fort is going to end up at about half in the top. Let's check in bot lane. How much value down there? Just a little bit on the tower, so nothing too crazy. Oh, no. Ugh. I missed the kill. That's what I get for trying to check things. So 3 kills to 3 so far. We do see that the XP value in that slightly over on the side of Cloud of Mines just because of when they've gotten their kills. Minion XP almost identical, so no real change there. So these teams ultimately very similar in their XP. Of course, the Mercenaries giving a little bit more XP over to the side of Cloud of Mines, and that's why they're currently about a quarter of a level ahead here. And there's a taunt coming out onto Stukov, but they've got friends. Cassia blinding the Varian here in a 4v3 as Varian having to pull back. Keeping in mind, of course, that Varian doesn't have Protect yet, just has the parry talent, and that's going to be enough to get that kill. The fend coming out from Venus, going over that wall and finishing the Varian. Oh, it's Segatai. Segatai, I'm so sorry last night I didn't get a chance to shout you out for your 100 bits, but I'm doing it tonight. So thank you very much for the 100 bits last night. And Kel'Thas taking a lot of damage, getting rooted there into the silence, and Li Ming throwing out those arcane missiles. Not quite enough to get the kill, but Thrall down in the bot lane versus the Mal'Ganis. Almost looked like that was going to turn into a death, but both pulled back as Thrall got a little bit of extra healing, and Mal'Ganis now going to go ahead and go back to the base. As both teams get their shaman camp going, ultimately, I think this, yeah, it's going to very slightly favor Clouded Mines. Well, maybe not, as they're picking up this bot siege camp as well, so Team Rainbow Strike Go is going to have a lot of value in this bot lane, although Robert going right into the middle of the team is going to take a bunch of damage, has the Protect this time, but it might not be back up soon enough to protect. But it doesn't matter, they get the kill onto Mal'Ganis. However, the Thrall getting caught by the root, so a 1-for-1 so far here as Earthquake slowing things down here, and that means that Cloud Mines is going to get the opportunity to clear up these camps in the bot lane. And Vala going to head back and get nice and healthy. And so far, the Immortal race going over to Clouded Mines. They get to the halfway mark there. And interestingly enough, you don't see a whole lot of this Fend build, but taking the additional damage under 60%. So certainly a contributing factor into that Varian kill earlier. There's the taunt onto Mal'Ganis. Once again, Gravity Lapse following it up. And the Carrion Swarm just in time, keeping Mal'Ganis alive. Tiger getting out of there just barely. Ended up with about a third of his health from the Carrion Swarm. Some of those living bombs, though, getting spread. And that is one slight challenge you have to deal with the Stukov, of course, is that you get your healing by spreading those pustules, the pathogens. But you also spread living bombs when you do that, so you got to be a little bit careful about that. And as we can see, Kingleberry throwing living bombs onto this, and the Cloud Mines have to be careful about their positioning going into that. Neither team has a full advantage here, although the big root coming out onto Killer Fry, and an amazingly timed Crystal Aegis there keeps Thrall alive, probably as well, intercepting that orb, as Varian does get the Protect here, but is in a very difficult position, getting body blocked by Clouded Mines. And Zendam with the army is saying, I'm not done chasing you, Silver. I'm coming for you. As Clouded Mines finishes the Immortal now. And with that kill onto Varian, that's going to give them a pretty good opportunity to push here in the bot lane. And it looks like they're going to do so with all 5. Nope. Never mind. Tiger's heading up to the top, trying to catch this soak. Get them a little bit closer to that level 13. They're currently about a half a level ahead. And they want to keep that advantage as long as they can. Let's check in up here while we've got a moment. Probably just going to be a little bit of a balanced fight there, so we'll come back down into the bottom. See what's going on here. So right now, Clouded Mines pushing in, but that's going to be a big taunt onto Venus and a kill onto Cassia. So A little bit harder now for Cloud of Mines to push in on this, so just waiting on the Immortal to get what value it can. And Swing getting some poke damage with those missiles and orbs. And that's going to be a full fort down in favor here of Cloud of Mines. And check this out. These guys have been fighting for the last 3 minutes or so, and they're both basically full health and mana.
The demon has fallen, but he will rise again in time.
How we look on an XP? So again, minions still pretty even. And that seems to be the case for most of the games that I've seen this week that I've cast here. The minion XP has been remarkably even. With one single exception, and that was a complete blowout because of it. But for the most part, the games are remarkably even in this. Now, Thrall having to use that Earthquake, being caught by basically the full team here. Thrall's just dead. I mean, there's nothing that his team can do to save him. So instead, we've got Rainbow Strike Go coming down here, getting some structure value. Already one tower down, working on the second one there. And with this minion wave, they might be getting a little aggressive trying to go in as the rotation coming down here. Mal'Ganis by himself isn't going to be enough to get any kills, but they have to remember that there's no fort for them to retreat to. So if they get caught, they just die. And right now, Varian is looking like that's exactly what's going to happen. Cloud of Mine's looking very strong tonight. The Div D champions certainly showcasing that they belong in a Div C setup. And the camp invade now, just prior to the Immortals coming up. So most likely they're going to come over here, grab their Shaman camp, get that set up so that that once again is pushing during this objective phase. And it looks like the Immortals are going to be on the offensive side. I mean, I guess they're defensive side, so never mind, whatever. You have to engage into enemy territory now to get to the Immortal. This definitely favors Cloud of Mines. They can be patient here. And the route going out with that completed level 1 quest here from Arthas. Getting several, but Taunt hitting onto the Arthas. The silence coming out, making it very difficult for Varian. But the orb, lightning orb from Cassia getting work done in the backline. And again, Varian having to pull back. Varian's the only tank, keep in mind, for this team. So with Varian kind of out of the fight for a bit here, that's going to give Cloud of Mines the opportunity to push in, get this Immortal down. And again, another big route, but it's going to be Tiger potentially falling? Maybe not. Nope, indeed does fall. So Thrall for Mal'Ganis. Very similar trade, but it's also going to net the kill onto Vala. Keep in mind, of course, that up here in the top lane, while we were talking, this top fort went down as well. So Cloud of Mines ultimately taking control of this game right now. And all they have to do is keep the pressure up, win these skirmishes, getting a single kill or 2 kills so that they can win the objectives, and then the objective gets a little bit more structure damage. And if they can keep that up, that's a recipe for success in winning this game. Was that a deliberate sacrifice by Varian? Maybe. But I think that ultimately the team was just too far up for too long. And I think that maybe they could have gotten out, but sometimes you're in that position. And this is exactly what... I feel like it was almost prophetic. It looks like Robert was a little bit far forward. And they're going to pay for it. And that's a pretty significant challenge now the Team Rainbow Strike Go has to deal with. They have no tank. They do have the Thrall coming up here, so at least they've got, you know, somebody in the front line to deal with, but that still is not easy to have your Thrall going into a Mal'Ganis and an Arthas. Army of the Dead used, so we've got a full army plus a minion wave coming in with this Immortal. And I don't see any world that this keep doesn't go down. And with the 16 talent advantage and as healthy as this Immortal is, this might even potentially lead to game. Although spreading the living bombs is a good way to make sure that it doesn't. And they're going to look for it. So talent advantages are up. They still have all their forts and keeps, so they're pretty much okay with, even if this doesn't work out, they can try to pull back, or, you know, worst case they lose something here. But There goes the lightning orb onto the back here. Robert very deep by himself into this team, and that's going to be a kill onto the Varian. King Bear trying to get the damage coming out with the living bombs spreading around in a gravity lapse. This Immortal is just tearing down the core, and that's going to be game number 2 going over to the Clouded Mines. All right, showcase our stats here. Go find a lobby, see if we can invite Tiger and or somebody. See what we can get out of this. So 6 kills to 12. Take a look at these talents now. They're not even trying to kill the Immortal. Indeed, yeah. I mean, it was a really tough fight for Team Rainbow Strike to go into at the end there. As Clouded Mines had really all of the control at the end. So we'll see if we can get an interview, and then we do have one other match still, I believe, going, hosted by Mystic, so we'll send everybody over there to check out that last match for tonight. So hopefully we'll get Tiger or somebody in. Maybe? Maybe? No response. Let's try over here. Looked a lot like Panic there. The whole blue team was pretty split. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Welcome.
Hi.
Well, you're not Tiger. Oh, that's right. You forgot to tell me. You were supposed to remind me, but you're here, so it's good. I'm so glad that you're here because I completely forgot until I was like, wait a minute, that's not who I was planning to talk to. Is that why you're here? Because you remember?
Yeah. Yep.
I'm so glad.
I told my brother, sorry, this one's mine.
Fair enough. I didn't realize. Is Tiger's your brother?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. Well, everybody, this is Swing from Clouded Mines, and Swing is here expressly because the last couple of times that I've done interviews, you know, playoff interviews and things like that, I neglected to appropriately recognize Swing and give her a platform, so I told her that she absolutely had to be here for the next interview. So I'm so glad you're here, and for your first game of the season, what a game. I mean, how are you guys feeling after that? You guys have to be hot. Riding high.
yeah, we're not. Yeah, we're riding high for sure. We're super excited. I mean, you know, stepping up a division this season. You know, we don't take that lightly, and we're trying to really stay on top of our game. Like, we know that it's going to be really tough competition, so we are super excited to win our first game of the season.
No doubt. And you know, Team Rainbow Strike Go, they've been in Div C for at least one season. I can't recall if they were in Div C for season 6 or not, but they definitely were last season. So they're, you know, they're a veteran team. You guys are a veteran team just coming up from another division, but looking really strong. And you know, I gotta say that first game, quite clearly a blow-up comp, and they made it work. But that first game felt very balanced. And, you know, both teams kind of poking and prodding where they could. And I felt like the reason you guys won primarily was you had a good team fight at the right time and got 15 points out of it. How did it feel for you guys in that game? Knowing that they had the blow-up comp, how did you address that? How did you make sure that you won that game?
Well, you know, we were going along pretty well, but then we had a couple situations where we lost a frontliner, like right before the objective, and kind of put us in a bad position. So we tried to just kind of do other things, and we gave a lot of shots. Like in the second half of that game, it was really hard, and Weenus really had to put the reins on the rest of us because we're like, but I could just poke, and he's like, no. He's like, we're giving it, we can give it, let's just like wait till we have all 5. So definitely kudos to Weenus to like slapping us around a little bit and not letting us get dumb.
Well, and you know, I gotta say there that you guys had a lot of control because certainly you had the ability to because of that big 15-point swing. But being able to just step back and say, you know what, we're down 4v5. They're going to get 8 points. Whatever, like, we can come back from this. We don't need to worry about it. It's 28 to, whatever it was, 2 or something at that time. So yeah, I mean, good on Weenus to really rein you guys in, but also, I mean, you guys had the opportunity to do so. You had the patience and ability to do so. So, so how do you come back with dealing with those quick blowups? So obviously Weenus is reining you guys in, but when they get the Arthas or the Mal'Ganis just completely gone in the blink of an eye, and your team's close by. There was one fight you guys actually did take down 4v5 in that bot altar. So what's the setup like for that? How do you guys make that call, and how crushing was it when 2 people died?
Well, the one thing we were really aiming for, especially in those end fights, was the reset for Li Ming, because a lot of fights, it seemed like we were getting them really, really, really low, but nobody was actually dying. And that was kind of rough. So once we actually got that first kill, it kind of cascades from there. So that helped a lot. And
who was playing that Li Ming, by the way?
Well, that was me.
Oh, of course it was. Of course it was. Now, I gotta say, in game number 2, so they banned out the Rainer, which, of course, it's Battlefield Eternity. Rainer has a pretty significant race. You guys draft the exact same comp, minus the Rainer. And then they draft a little bit different, some of the same heroes. And game number 2 looked just absolutely polished for you guys. Certainly some kills on both sides, but you guys look like you really took advantage. So what did you guys do to make sure that you were kind of identifying those split targets or forcing them to split?
Well, we kind of, we wanted to take the gray main off the table because we thought the gray main in game 1 was really strong. And Battlefield of Eternity, of course, is a great map for Greymane, so we just wanted to get rid of him, which takes away a little bit of the shred. And then we knew when they picked up the Vala that they were aiming to just kind of have her sit on the Immortal, so we wanted to try to defend and disrupt that. So Tiger did a great job on Mal'Ganis with that, and then of course we had Zed as well going in there trying to disrupt that, and we decided we kind of wanted to fight them first, and then we go shred on our Immortal.
Yeah, for sure. And you know what? You played really well into that. You had some good, solid, sleeps and roots to help set up both the Cassia, fend and damage from her, as well as obviously your long downtown, orbs of destruction that just cause so much chaos and ultimately allow you guys to get that BOE done in, I don't know, what was it, probably about 12, 13 minutes or so?
Yeah, it was great.
So
I mean, we
decent.
were all on the same page and, moving around the map pretty well. And we were focused on, picking up the camps and just trying not to get into a position where we can get picked because, we were a little leery because, like you said, they were very, blow up type of a team. So we knew that they would take advantage of us if, somebody gets caught out, basically.
Yeah, and Eric 2004 ever in chat saying that Zed was not dead second game. That is true. Zednam and you, but neither of you ended up dying in that second game at all. So, well done on that.
Zed's dead, baby. Zed's dead.
Yeah. It certainly happened a couple of times in game number 1, right? I mean, Mal'Ganis and Arthas, just finding themselves on the wrong end of a cursed bullet and just dead instantly. But yeah, so it is what it is. So let's wrap up here, and I got to ask you, what was your favorite experience from this match? Whether it was something that you did, or something your team did, or even something that the enemy team did. What was the big whoa, that was super awesome moment for you?
For me, it was when Weenus really got us to back off on Towers of Doom and kept us from throwing, basically, because I mean, I think that a lot of times we play pretty aggressively, so it's hard for us to be like, oh no, we're just gonna give, but he was 100% right, and I just want to thank him for that. I think that was a big turning point for us in the match tonight, and it got us mentally on the right track.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Big shout out to Weenus. You know, it takes a lot to kind of pull back and recognize that you need to just take a moment, right? Maybe there's nothing else to do at the time, but move on and soak for a moment. But it's definitely a challenging thing to do, and not every team can do that. Even when their shot caller is telling them to, they always got to get that last thing. That last poke.
Yeah, I could just poke. I could just do this. But then, of course, he's right. That turns into another person dying, and then you're like down a person again, and it just becomes a big mess. So we just played it safe there because we were able to, and it was a great call. And I think that was a turning point for us.
Good deal. All right. Well, let's go ahead and wrap this up. So, obviously, as per tradition, any shout outs from you for Twitch Lane?
Yeah, so shout out to you for casting our match. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. And also to Team Rainbow Strike Go. You guys played a great match. I'm sure you're going to do great this season. And also thank you to my team. Everybody played great. Weenus, Star, Zed, Tiger. You guys are awesome. And super excited to be playing in the new season in a new division.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for joining me. And again, congratulations on your victory. Enjoy your evening and good luck in the rest of your season.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Good night. All right, so that's going to wrap us up. But as mentioned earlier, we do have one game still left going on here. It just started a little while ago. Who Knows Gaming versus Necrofin Murgles. So that's a Division B West game. And actually, I guess it started almost an hour ago, but I think they're just starting probably, I don't know, their second or third game. So we're going to go ahead and send you over to Mystic to check out that final game. Once again, I appreciate everybody stopping by and enjoying the Nexus Gaming Series late at night here, nearly at 1 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast. Always a pleasure to have you. And make sure to come back. We've got another game tomorrow at 8:30 on this channel, Eastern Time. There's a game on Saturday around 8 or 9 or 10 or something like that. Check the calendar for that one. And don't forget the NGS Rewind. We'll be hosting that on the Nexus Gaming Series page on Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time for any of the replay casting that needs to be done for the week for matches that didn't get cast. Again, I'm Arrow. Thanks again for joining me. Have a wonderful night.